Hello and welcome back to What's Streaming. This weekend saw San Diego Comic-Con make a huge return. So this week we're talking all things SDCC, and in particular we're going to be looking at all things Marvel Studios. This week, obviously, I'm back with Rob. How are we doing, Rob?
Doing great. What a great weekend.
It was quite something. And myself and Rob are joined by Mo this week. How are we, Mo?
Mo's good. Mo's very good. Very happy
Good.
after the weekend. Yeah. I'm exhausted though because I was up till 5 in the morning. But it's fine. We
I
moved.
think we do move indeed.
We move.
Arguably, the biggest news of the weekend saw Marvel Studios announcing its Phase 4 ending later this year. We've got a confirmation of Phase 5 and even Phase 6 all coming together to represent the multiverse saga of the MCU. As I mentioned, Phase 4 is ending at the end of the year with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And what a trailer that was. What did you think, Mo?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a blubbery mess if I talk about the trailer, so let's just go to Rob because this trailer just not Rob, go.
Well, yeah, I definitely think it's the MCU's best trailer they've ever done. And the funniest part about it is it's not the most MCU trailer that they've done, but it's the best one. I mean, it's just emotional as just it's super emotional. You can see the heart, you can see the way that Chadwick's passing has played into this movie from the couple minutes that we got there. I mean, the trailer, if the movie's anything like the trailer, it's going to destroy people's emotions.
Definitely. Obviously, the trailer had Thames's cover of "No Woman, No Cry," and I just think that perfectly set the tone of the trailer. It was quite something. Obviously, the film is going to be introducing some new characters into the MCU, some known ones, and there are rumors of other characters making appearances. What do we think of finally getting Namor and Ironheart in the MCU? We'll start with you, Rob.
Beautiful. These are, I mean, you got Namor, who was the second character in Marvel Comics history, right after the Human Torch, or it could be flip-flopped. I can't remember. They're 1 and 2 though. Human Torch and Namor, the first mutant. Yet to see if he's a mutant in the MCU though. Been waiting a long time for his live action debut for how much of a big character he is in Marvel Comics. And then Riri Williams with Ironheart, a legacy character for Iron Man, the next smartest person on the planet to make an advanced suit of armor at 16 years old. And I think it was really nice to bring her in for Wakanda Forever to kind of link the tech and stuff in.
Is she gonna be 16? Because isn't she an MIT student?
Yeah, so she graduated from MIT as a teenager, or she goes to MIT as a teenager because she's a genius.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, fine, whatever. But I feel like they're gonna age her up. I don't think she's gonna be 16 in that in the show and in the film.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're keeping her teenager in the MCU. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
they
there's
are.
a confirmation of her age in the MCU yet. Yeah, I don't know. It's just going over her in the comics, but yeah, I don't know.
Because yeah, Dominique Thorne is she's 25. Okay, so she could play a 16-year-old, but she definitely doesn't. Like we've seen what a 16-year-old in the MCU looks like, and they look very 16-year-old-ish.
Yeah.
So I think it would be quite frustrating to kind of restrict her storyline to like a high school age as well. Anyway, I'd rather they just age her up, and she's not 16, and she's, I don't know, 20 or something.
We'll see.
Anything is possible in the MCU. Speaking of anything is possible, Phase 4 is obviously ending, and we did get the Phase 5 roster. I'm just going to quickly brush upon all the release dates. So it's going to start with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania next February. We're going to have Secret Invasion during the spring next year. Guardians 3 in May. Echo and Loki Season 2 in the summer. The Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, and Thunderbolts. Wow. Okay, so Mo, if you had to pick one of those titles that you could watch right now, which would it be?
Agatha, 100% Agatha.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like everyone's just like talking crap about it or how it's like unnecessary. I don't think it's unnecessary. I think it's just going to be a fun little dark comedy as it was pitched, little dark comedy, and it's Catherine Hahn. And if the casting rumors are true, it's going to have a lot of people that I really like in it. So I am looking forward to that because it just looks like it's going to be a camp fest. I wonder if they've got directors for it because I know Jack Schaefer's the head writer of it, and I know they've taken on 2 other writers. But Agatha, Coven of Chaos, because I like the witchy side and like the magic side of the MCU only because it's just like I feel like they sort of gave up trying to reconcile magic and science and everything, which I'm happy with because I don't like that everything has a scientific explanation. I just like it to be like, obviously they're all sci-fi films at the end of the day or sci-fi series at the end of the day, but at the same time it's just like, just leave some things to the imagination, just go crazy. And I want to see her because I just thought she gave such a really good performance as Agatha anyway in WandaVision, and it's just going to be like, it's a way to introduce a lot of new concepts and a lot of, I want to say like not MacGuffins, but like useful tools for later down the line and like concepts later down the line that could come in handy when they're facing against formidable opponents, because it will also be interesting to see if Agatha remains villainous or if they're going to try and protagonize her and be like,
the Loki treatment.
A little bit, yeah. And I kind of hope she stays as a villain and we get like that villain thing, because it's okay. We don't need to see we don't need to sympathize for everybody and be like, oh yeah, they're our favorite. But and at the same time, people are. If you look back at the reaction when WandaVision was announced and people were saying, oh, who needs this? This is going to be awful. Everyone was saying it was going to be awful, and it wasn't. Clearly, it's still a lot of people's favorite show, and it created a whole army of Wanda stans, which I swear never existed before January 2021, or until that first trailer came out. But yeah, I just think it's going to be an interesting show, and I don't, because we know so little about Agatha as a character in the MCU. It would be interesting to see them bring in some other characters that could then make deals with other characters to then introduce a certain flaming rider onto the scene.
Yes, definitely. Saying that,
what about you?
I'm gonna say Blade, just because. So I've never seen the original Blade, but
wow.
I know
the shit.
So, like, looking at all the titles, there's obviously there's the cosmic ones. Then you've got your more sort of your grounded stories, your magic. It's the one that sort of stands out that obviously we're getting Werewolf by Night this year. It's
Are we? Does it even exist?
I don't know.
Does it exist? Yeah.
Does it? We'll never know. It's just it's such an intriguing title because I'm so excited to find out this new sort of corner of the MCU, and it's Mahershala Ali, a great actor. So I'm ready to watch that one. I don't know. As much as I'm excited for every title on that list, I think I'm definitely more intrigued about that one. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Rob? I think there's only
I
one.
don't gotta,
There's
I
only
don't
one
got
answer.
it. Do I got to answer that question? I mean,
He's obviously very
Focus.
excited for.
oh, it's blurring. It's blurring it. It's blurring it.
You're obviously very excited for I Am Groot season 2.
Yes, that's what it is. I am Groot. No, Daredevil, Born Again. If I could see that show right now, I don't know what I would do to see it, but I would do some things to see it right now. Charlie Cox back as Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin, Matt Corman, Chris Ord are writers. As far as we know, like with people attached to it, they did Covert Affairs for like a couple seasons on USA Network. I haven't seen it. I don't know what their writing is like, but I got trust in Feige. I got trust in Marvel Studios to give us a Daredevil project that we deserve, that follows the legacy of the previous 3 seasons that aired on Netflix. 18 episodes in a season. That's actually mind-blowing to me. And we probably are going to get obviously more returning cast members from, I would hope, the original series. Maybe get some Bullseye in there. Stiltman, I hope we get Stiltman. The Owl. I don't know. Just give us 18 episodes. You can do so much with that. I just want every Daredevil villain to come in. Yeah, no, Daredevil Born Again. Beautiful.
I wouldn't say that. So a couple of hours before Comic-Con, I got wind of the title from somebody, and I called Rob up and I was like, "Oh, Rob, I have some news for you." And you should have been there on the phone call, because when that happened, it was like, I told him, and I think he started like screaming.
It wasn't even the fact that there was going to be a Daredevil show announced, because it had already came out previously that we were going to be getting a revival, or like a soft reboot on Disney Plus. But it was the subtitle that made me freak out. My guess was Man Without Fear. That's just the easiest subtitle to go with. That's Daredevil. But Born Again, my favorite comic storyline in all of Marvel history. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful that they've chosen that name.
How do you think it's gonna release? Sorry, what are you saying?
No. Actually, that's a really good question, because I was going to mention that as well. Two 9 episodes, I would think. I can't see them going 4.5 months straight of Daredevil. I mean, that's like cable network recorded on your DVR kind of stuff. Like, I see them doing either two parts of 9 episodes or 3 parts of 6.
I don't see them doing that.
Really?
I'm going to throw something out there.
Okay.
I'm thinking that what they're going to do is 2 episodes a week.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't
because
mind
that. Because I think it's done on like, I think it will basically be 2 episodes of sort of like 30 minutes each, 30-ish minutes each, and then you'll get your hour of Daredevil each week for 9 weeks. Because it depends on how quickly they want the story to set him up for future appearances. As well as that, it's like, you can't really do a Daredevil thing in half an hour. I don't think you can do it really well in half an hour. So I feel like what they're going to do is do a lot of. It depends on if they also take like a procedural route with it.
I was going to say,
if they do procedural, like, or if it's going to be 18 episodes of 45 to 55 minutes each, that would be crazy.
That would be
and then
insane.
I think they would do like a 9-2 split. But it just depends, because I don't know how I don't know how much of budget they want or how much they're going to have, but it's ridiculous. I think it's something like, the report going around was that it was 25 million an episode for each of the Disney Plus shows. So if they're still spending that much of money, then what I think they're trying to do now is set Daredevil up as a character to get people used to him appearing in things, so that people will. So they set him up in She-Hulk, so then they get more subscribers, so that they can justify spending close to $500 million on one season of TV.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really hope that they're not actually spending 25 million an episode on that, because that's, and for it to be what, half an hour, 25 million on half an hour of TV is pretty ridiculous. What if it's shorts? Just 18 shorts, 18 3-minute shorts released like sporadically once every 2 weeks or something.
Man, I don't know. I think they're gonna kill it.
I think they're gonna. I hope that their release strategy for it is a little bit different, and I hope that, because I think this is what you were gonna say, Josh. TV rating.
Yeah.
I hope that, because obviously we know Marvel Zombies is going to be TVMA, and it's less risky to do it like a more risque project on a streaming service, because you don't have to convince people to actually go to the cinema and watch it, and you don't have to convince families, because the families are going to be in their house, they're already paying for the service anyway. So it's less of a gamble to do a rated R or TVMA streaming project than it is to do a rated R film in the theaters. So I hope, well, I don't hope that they do, because I think they do a good job without it, but I'm inclined to believe that because Marvel Zombies is going to be TVMA, it's more likely that Daredevil will be TVMA as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I wouldn't mind either TV-14 or TVMA. Whichever way is fine with me. The one question I haven't seen gotten asked a lot, because everybody's been getting so overwhelmed with these 18 episodes, the fact that we're getting 18. I haven't seen people ask, why are we getting so much of this one specific character? Like, why is Daredevil getting 18 episodes in general? Not that I'm mad, but I would have been pleased with like 10 episodes. That would make sense to me. But 18 is like an insane amount of episodes for a first season. Like, I wonder if this is going, like, it's Daredevil's first solo outing in the MCU, but in a way it makes me think, could this show be almost in the way that Cap 3 was Civil War? What if like Daredevil Born Again is like the first major street level like event for Marvel? Like 18 episodes is a lot, and I don't know if they're going to carry, if it's not an event, I don't know if carrying a plot over 18 episodes would be the smartest idea if it's not something gigantic.
Yeah.
Or else I feel like it could be split between 3 or 4 episode arcs all throughout the season or something like that. So I don't know.
Did
But
they
18 episodes is a lot.
No, it's a great amount. Did they announce any episode lengths for any other shows, or was it just because of how significant Daredevil's was that they announced it there?
I
think the general rule for... Sorry?
No, because I was just saying, obviously I'm guessing the assumption is six for a season. Like the...
Well, yeah, I think the general rule was that they want to make about 6 hours of content per project. So obviously with a 9-episode season, then that's around about 30-ish minutes. WandaVision had a bit more. I think it had like 40 something minutes in the final few episodes. But the general rule is that it's 6 hours of content. So if it's a 6-episode season, it's going to be 1 hour episodes. But with Daredevil, if you were getting...
it has to go over that.
Yeah. So with Daredevil, what is it? So 6 times... divided by...
They could absolutely blindside us.
20 minute...
Yeah, I was just going to say...
episodes.
Yeah, 20-minute episodes. Could absolutely...
Yeah. So I don't imagine that it's going to be 20-minute episodes for Daredevil.
No.
Because even that 6 hours is like including credits in that. So
Yeah.
imagine you've got 15 minutes of Daredevil and then 5 minutes of credits
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
every week. But no, I think it's really strange that they've dedicated this much to Daredevil in particular. And yeah, I did kind of question it a little bit. I was like, why 18? And it's also, he said first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you like? Does Daredevil really need 18 episodes to set up the street level MCU? And then is the second season gonna drop down to 6 or something? Who knows?
That's what I'm saying 3 to 4 episode arcs of like different villains, just setting up a bunch of different aspects of street levels, the mob, the different gangs. Hell, you could use it to bring in other street level heroes that haven't been introduced in the MCU yet. If Sony will allow it, which is not likely, give us freaking a Daredevil Spider-Man crossover we've all been asking for, now that we have confirmed that Spidey is going to street level now, which I mean, it was pretty clear No Way Home he was going to, but Kevin Feige said it himself that Daredevil and Spider-Man will be like the two front runners of street level Marvel, which is my favorite part of Marvel. Doesn't get better than that. And I don't know. I mean, we know Kingpin. Here's this guy shaking his head. But
Your boss.
yeah, I don't know. Like, the Daredevil Spider-Man crossover is imminent. Like, it will happen at some point, no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
But give us it in the Daredevil series, man. Give us something. We know Kingpin's in it. Spidey and Daredevil versus Kingpin. Jessica Jones. There's been rumors that Daredevil's appearance in She-Hulk will start to plant the seeds for maybe a Jessica Jones return. Like what Daredevil's been up to, what his mission it kind of is at the current time. See him in Echo, plant more seeds, and then we get to his solo outing and we get everybody. I don't know.
Everyone's back. Just bring them all back.
Not Finn Jones. Sorry.
Get Sigourney Weaver while we're at it, just sweep her in.
Forgot she was even a part of that, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how people react to it, because people are making a lot of presumptions over it, and I don't engage with that anymore. I just do me. Yeah, I just do me.
Just do Mo.
Just do me. I don't engage with people that, because people generally like to just say things, and then they just say things, and there's like no thought behind anything that they're saying. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're not going to think about what you're saying, I'm not.
Like Disney's going to ruin Daredevil.
Pretty much, or oh my god, 18 episodes is too many episodes now. Like, you guys were complaining about 6-episode seasons, and now you're getting triple that, and you're like, oh no.
The most screen time for a single project in the MCU.
He's gonna lap Iron Man's screen time in no time. Within like what, 10 episodes, you'll have lapped it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how much, because what the MCU doesn't do is do like backstories. They tried to do that with Black Widow and it failed. But yeah, the MCU doesn't really do backstories, so it will be interesting to see where this series picks up from.
I don't want another.
Are they going to presume that he's the Netflix one, or are they going to say, is the first episode going to start with a previously on Daredevil?
Oh my gosh!
No, that would be.
If it does,
that would be crazy.
Then that canonizes everything, and I'm going to be so annoyed.
Me too. I will be too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's something that Mo from 2 years from now has to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh, just trying to think this time in 2 years. Oh, so 2 years tomorrow, Thunderbolts is out. So yeah.
Oh god.
That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, but I'm not until I know the lineup. I'm not feeling excited for it.
Yeah.
Because it will be interesting to see if you know the lineup, then it makes it a bit easier to because part of the fun of watching Marvel films and series is just engaging with the theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Until they announce a lineup, I just have no attachment to it apart from saying, "Oh, this is who I want to be in it, and this is who I want to be in it." But then I have no thing of who's going to be the villain, who's going to be any of that. But yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling.
With Thunderbolts, I hope they take the route from when the Thunderbolts first formed in the comics. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it because it seems like Val is somehow involved in the government a little bit. But like in the comics, the Avengers are gone, and I don't remember exactly how it went, but basically Zemo puts together the team. They cause the crimes, and then they dress up as heroes, and then they go and they save everybody. But then they got all the stuff out of it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then they look like good guys. But then further down the line, the villains that Zemo picked on the team end up actually liking being a superhero more. And Zemo is like, no, that's not how that works. So they like turn on him and like fight him and kill him because they genuinely enjoyed being good guys after doing it. So I think that'd be something really cool to see maybe in the movie as like a little arc. Is like they actually start to enjoy being the good guys a little bit. But we'll have to see. Feige did confirm that some members of the lineup we haven't even met yet.
Yeah.
There will be
characters that we have no idea about yet. That are going to be
also Titania.
The team. Titania?
For sure.
I think she'd be in it. I don't know. Maybe if Val pops up, She-Hulk.
Yeah, I
Who
feel
do we
like we're
think
going to be
Val's
seeing a lot
recruiting
more
from Black Panther? Namor? I think Namor would fit well on the Thunderbolts.
No.
No,
Yes.
Keep him away from that.
Namor
Keep him away from that.
Namor is a douchebag. He would perfectly fit on the Thunderbolts.
No, I already feel like I love Namor, so shut up. I feel very
you can be like the Wanda stance. You can just defend him no matter what.
No, because if they're like, because he's just going to be the butt of a joke, and I'm not going to like it if he's in the Thunderbolts and he's the butt of the joke, because he's going to be the only one there with superpowers, like actual superpowers, because he's a mutant and he's got little wings on his feet, and I love him. So shut up.
I mean, if Abomination is on there, he'll have superpowers.
No, his name is Abomination. Come on, like.
I mean, yeah, but still, I don't know. I feel there's been rumors that that she was on set of Black Panther 2, and I feel like out of everybody, I mean, who else? M'Baku, but he's not really like a bad guy.
I
mean, Namor I think could be printed as a bad guy to the world, and Val's like, hey, come on, I
think she'll recruit not Shuri. I think she'll recruit Letitia Wright as if she's going around collecting villains. She'll recruit Letitia Wright. Just be like, you're coming with me. What? I should know. No, not Shuri as Letitia Wright. And then everyone just turns on her.
That'd be cool.
And she's like, "What? I just asked questions. Shut up."
I can't believe.
Although I will say that
figured out the ending of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is called Thunderbolts for sure now. It isn't Dark Avengers, or they're not name swapping it. So I think Red Hulk could be a bet for the roster, especially with it being Thunderbolts.
And William Hurt's dead.
Yes, but I talked to you about it previously. Now that we know it's Thunderbolts and he's whatever first name, Thunderbolt Ross. That somehow explain off screen. He's become Red Hulk. Just get a voice actor and just he's Red Hulk. The whole movie.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you were talking about was it Betty Ross or Betsy Ross?
Betsy?
Betty Ross?
No, it's Betsy. Betsy Ross. Wait, which one stitched the American flag?
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of his daughter, Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liv Tyler. I feel I remember seeing something that maybe she could become Red Hulk or something.
Ooh, like
Ooh.
there has been a Red She-Hulk before in the comics, so that's not out of the question. That would be cool.
Although it would be really funny if they just got She-Hulk herself and were like, yeah, cool,
Yeah,
fight.
Thunderbolt now.
So Rob's theory is that She-Hulk is set during the blip, so during that 5-year gap between Infinity War, the start of Endgame and like the bulk of Endgame. So and it's to do with Hulk being injured and then not being injured and then being not like having an injury after Shang-Chi in the post-credit scene there, then being in Hulk form. And the first
has
trailer
the
showed
injury, but he's back in
Yeah.
Banner form, but still has his arm in the sling. So, yeah.
So Rob's theory is that something happened, an event happened in those 5 years, and it caused Smart Hulk, to revert to Banner form and somehow get injured. I don't know if we'll see that. There's no indication that the show is set during or after the blip, when it's set at all. What we do know though is that oh shoot, it very well could be set during the blip.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if Wong is coming in, and we know Wong didn't dust, and Wong and Abomination have built up a rapport in those years, and Shang-Chi, and by Shang-Chi they were friends.
Yeah.
But he was still in either prison, or was it a containment center or something? Was it the transformation lab?
It's the big
It's the
containment.
Supermax.
It's the Supermax facility. But my also theory is that through the trailer, it doesn't seem to show that what Wong is coming to Jennifer for and her having to represent Abomination are connected somehow. So I'm thinking, what if we get to see how Wong and Abomination somehow met, because they're both in this show, and I'm wondering if it has to do with She-Hulk one way or another, that they've met, and then by the time we see them again in Shang-Chi, they're like buddies or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it has to be set during that 5-year time jump of what was going on. And I wouldn't doubt that we get more backstory on how Professor Hulk came to be, except for the one line of putting the brains and the bronze together in the Gamma Lab. I feel like Bruce would definitely talk to Jennifer about that a little bit, especially if he's guiding her on being a Hulk now. So
because in that Comic-Con trailer, he seemed surprised that she reverted to Gen form back in when she was sleeping. So it's like he's trying to figure it out a little bit as well, to see if he can have that control over it.
It looks like she can transform just in general, which is actually crazy to me. Yeah, because when she's in the courthouse, he's like, "You gotta transform." And she's like, "All right, fine," and she does it. That's not She-Hulk. When she becomes She-Hulk, she's always She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So they're switching it up for this, which I don't mind. I really like that aspect.
Awesome. She-Hulk arriving on the 17th of August on Disney Plus. Okay, so with Phase 5, sort of, we're gonna brush that under the carpet.
No. Quickly. Sorry.
Or not.
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't have any information on this or anything at all. But actually, two things before we move on to what I think you're going to move on to. But do we think that everything in Phase 5 was announced?
No.
You got D23 still. Come on.
If not, what do you think could be announced in Phase 5, and where do you think it will place?
Are you saying new projects or projects we haven't heard of and their date's going to be in Phase 5?
So, yeah, obviously we know he said that he being Feige has said that Thunderbolts is capping off Phase 5, which is fine. Yeah. What projects do you think? So we know that there's a Shang-Chi sequel. We know that there's Wonder Man. We know, but I'm not going to say how we know. Other things, an academy.
Yes. Okay, Wonder Man, I think, is one of the dates in Phase 6. I will say that. I think Wonder Man is a Phase 6 one. Now, the one you just referenced, I would like to think that could possibly, and again, they would really have, that would have to be D23 announcement and then ramp up production like
Tomorrow.
quickly. Yeah, like ramp it up very fast. I won't rule it out for Phase 5. I think it would fit the most in Phase 5, especially for what we know about in Phase 6 right now. I feel like those characters would be involved heavily. So yeah, I would actually, yeah, I'd say that could be Phase 5. Definitely.
Do we think that academy will, through maybe rivalry between another superpowered group of people, do we think that academy will very quickly be replaced by a school?
I want to say no. I want to.
Right.
I want to, because we need to give them their time to shine before they take their place as a front part of MCU, big money maker. I feel like Marvel will establish them as the next coming. They will give them their time, especially with the characters that are involved with that and the very big movies we know about in Phase 6 that we are going to move and talk about soon. Very, very heavily linked to that. If they go that route, which I can see them going that route. Give them that, give them their big moments in those movies, and then Phase 7, we get the school. We bring in the school. Phase 7 onward, whatever this next saga will be, I think will be the era of ushering in this whole new group of superpowered individuals, which can be their own cinematic universe.
I think, fine, whatever. I mean, their story is sort of timeless.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, their story very much is. I'm going to save my thoughts so we can get to talking about Phase 6, because after we get on talking about Phase 6, then we can give our theories on Phase 7. So
yeah, we've got questions as well. We've got questions as well to deal with.
We do. And one of them is coming right up shortly. Quickly, I just want to interject. I do think Deadpool 3 will be Phase 5 as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's a sure bet.
And I saw a funny tweet before, obviously, in the US, Deadpool 1 and 2 and Logan made their way to Disney Plus, and obviously everyone was like, "Oh, it's coming this weekend, guys. We're getting Deadpool 3. They've put it on DLCs."
Okay, I was one of them.
I just love the internet. Do you know what I mean?
But it made sense. It made complete sense.
It was just one of those weird coincidences, though.
It is a weird coincidence, but now that I think about it, drop them on Disney Plus, give it time to marinate. September.
No,
definitely.
I'm gonna disagree with you there, because I'm gonna disagree with you there only because it was a perfect opportunity to do it then. It's well known that
they've got the stuff for
it's well known that it's well known that it's in production. It's well known that they are the most open about Deadpool 3 than they are about any unofficially announced films ever. They're incredibly open about it, and I just wish that they'd have given people something, because you're riding that wave of Kamala Khan being the first mutant introduced in the MCU, and why delay that until September just to get people used to the idea of that? And I know people don't really consider Deadpool to be a mutant, really.
No, he's very much a mutant.
People don't consider him to. People think mutant X-Men. People don't view Deadpool in that same thing because of how different the films were to the rest of the X-Men films. And that's a general audience thing. That's a general audience thing. It's not. I just wish that they'd taken the opportunity to confirm it at the very least. Then get Ryan Reynolds on stage and be like, "Yeah, do that." But I don't know. I don't run Marvel or Disney.
Wait till they find out that Deadpool was an X-Men once. And X-Force.
But given what we've just talked about, sorry, I wanted to ask one of the questions, which comes from Chris Connor. Good friend Chris. And he asked, where will we see Kate Bishop again, do you think?
Pick me. Pick me. Pick me.
Yeah. Josh?
Ant-Man.
Well,
Ant-Man 3. Ant-Man 3. That's what I'm saying.
ooh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Very, very interesting.
They don't have the time to introduce her. Sorry, Josh.
It's fine. Don't worry. I don't know. Given that slate of, I think the hardest thing about all these titles is we have, maybe apart from Ant-Man, Secret Invasion, Guardians, the Marvels, we don't have any sense of current storytelling. We only know a few sort of little details that we're connecting with imaginary dots. And when you're trying to build these characters up in these universes, it's always figuring out where's best for them to pop up next. So I think with Kate Bishop, because there's no concrete evidence of either more Hawkeye or sort of where Kate would fit in, I know loads of people on Twitter really want a Yelena and Kate sort of team up. So then when you look at that, you think, oh, she could be in like a sort of, if Yelena's going to be in Thunderbolts, there could be like a small scene with the two of them, and you could sort of fit Kate into there. But for what's been announced for Phase 5, there's not really anywhere apart from Thunderbolts where you can just say, do you know what, there's going to be a throwaway scene with Kate Bishop. You find out she's working with the Avengers and all this stuff. So right now, I don't think there's a definitive answer to that question. It is all up in the air, but I think Thunderbolts could do it if Yelena's in there. Even a further stretch, obviously we're getting potential. Well, is it confirmed we're getting Daredevil and Echo?
Yeah.
If we're going for that sort of street level, we could see her maybe, and then obviously Daredevil as well. But I don't think they're gonna do that.
I couldn't. Yeah, no.
So Thunderbolts is my answer for that question.
I don't think they're going to wait that long to use Kate Bishop, because that's, 2 years away now? I don't think they're going to wait that long to use Kate Bishop again. I think that we are going to see her pop up like everywhere. She was such a fan favorite character. I feel like what we might see her in is, what have we got?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Very well done, Josh. Shut up. 1 second. Play some elevator music.
They could throw her into Ironheart, I guess, if they want to do some world building.
They could, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Kate and Riri meeting up. Walking past each other down the street, like, oh, I know you.
What are they going to do for 18 episodes of Daredevil?
Ask me.
Exactly. So
he's going to be born again.
I think. No, exactly. So they could use him to set up the street level people. And if Kate Bishop's going to be that street level hero, she could be a huge part of Daredevil. As far as like a mentoring thing goes, or as far as him building it just depends on where they on whether or not he's, I don't know, it just depends on whether or not he's well, we know he's going to be Daredevil by the time the show starts, but whether or not he's the Netflix Daredevil or if he's the implicitly Netflix Daredevil, like kind of the exact same backstory just in a different universe. But
yeah,
I think she could show up in Daredevil. She could show up in, but I really do think that there's an unannounced series that's coming, and I think it's just going to be 6 episodes, and it will hit around about it will hit around summer-ish next year, or like that gap between summer and was it fall? Yeah, fall.
Yeah,
Autumn,
between
and it will hit.
Marvels and Blade.
No, between
That
Ironheart
gap.
and Agatha,
Oh, okay. What sort
as
of
far as the
push?
series.
Yeah, even summer 2024 between Captain America and Thunderbolts. There's a gap there, maybe.
Well, yeah, like, but my thing is that I don't think they're going to wait 2 years to use her.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of VFX needed for her in particular. So I feel like what they're going to do is at that point they're going to set up this academy.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we'll start to see a bit more clarity as far as the mentoring role that the older Avengers will have on those in the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this academy? Is it in the middle of the Indian Ocean in Tiamat's hand?
We don't know, but I think Ant-Man 3 is going to lay the seeds for that.
Yeah.
I am fully on the belief that it will lay the seeds for that, and that's why I believe that her next appearance will be in that. Not in a major role, obviously a cameo.
Yeah.
I think that her appearance will be the start of all the little. I mean, they planted the tiny ones with this character here, bringing them in like one by one. But I mean, it's very obvious that she will be the front runner of that. And especially with Ant-Man 3 and Kang being the villain and a version of Kang being a very integral part of that story, and then where we're heading in phase 6, I really think that for Academy, Ant-Man 3 will really start to pick up the groundwork on that, especially in stature. Obviously, I mean, stature is going to be a big part of it as well. So
I think obviously they could go the sort of Doctor Strange post credit route. I think that'd work best. Do you know? Obviously, if Kate's going to show up, it might be a post credit with her, and
that's what I would assume. Yeah, her and stature most likely.
Yeah,
but I don't think so. Not if that. Oh wait, no. That does align with the thing. That really does align with the thing. That's the thing that what we both know. What
the thing. Yep.
Not the thing. Not the thing. Not Ben Grimm, but
the thing.
But yeah, no.
Thing.
Fine. Yes, I agree, Rob. You've twisted my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can already imagine during that project, let's say that version of Kang appears out of nowhere through some time stream, crash lands in this timeline, explains, and then Kate's like, Cassie, isn't this what you were talking about? And then Cassie's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. And then it's like, go from there.
End episode 1.
End episode 1, exactly. Or, first 30 minutes of movie, however.
Yeah, it's going to be a series. It's 100% going to be a series.
Definitely.
Only because there are gaps in the release schedule, and I believe that the way it's going now is that they want something new every single week.
Yeah.
Of the year. And I'm not mad at that, to be honest, because it's just more stuff to watch, and you don't have to watch everything. You can wait till it all comes out, and they already said that they're going to be releasing new things from every single of the marquee brands each week by around about this time, or by like September 2022 is when they're going to have new things premiering from every single marquee brand. So I do definitely believe that it's going to get to the point where you're going to have a new Marvel MCU Disney Plus original premiering every single week, and it's going to be good, and people are going to like it, and they can shut up about it.
Yeah, no. Shove content down their throats. I'm all for it.
It's not content, it's media. Anyway. Josh?
Josh
Is Josh there?
I don't
know. Lost Josh.
Have we lost Josh? Yes, we have
We've
lost
lost
Josh.
Josh. We've lost
Anyway.
Josh.
You instead of
So yeah, I think yeah, the idea of the West Coast Avengers, I feel like Wonder Man is going to obviously be setting that up a bit.
yes,
And they're going to like I like the idea that I like the idea that Scott and Hope and White Vision or whoever it is does this mentorship thing. We just need to get Kate out of New York.
yes.
And maybe after maybe she goes to UCLA or something.
Mhm.
For university, or she goes and does something that may like basically you just need to get her out of New York, and then I'm on board. Because the Avengers are a I'm more on board with this the more talking about it.
Because you know who lives in San Francisco?
She-Hulk.
Scott and Hope. No, Scott and Hope.
She-Hulk.
Does she? Is that no? That's New York, isn't it?
She's LA.
She's LA. Oh, I thought it was New York this whole time. I don't know why I didn't even think about that.
No. Yeah,
Anyway.
she'll mentor them. She'll mentor whoever.
So Phase 6, we finally got a date for Fantastic Four. We still don't have a director, but all signs are sort of suggesting we may or may not be getting some more news on the title at D23, but that is not what we're going to be talking about. Mo's got his hand up.
It is for like 2 seconds, and then I'm going to shut up. It's that a while ago, a reporter from one of the trades had said that Marvel is in no rush to look for a director, and will have one by around about September anyway. And this was like a week or so after Watts had left. So this was early May, and at that point we didn't know Disney Plus Day was going to be in September. And we didn't know it was going to be the prelude to D23 either.
Okay.
But putting the pieces together a little bit, we're going to have a director, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
By then. I'm like 95% sure we'll have a director by then.
Steven Spielberg's Fantastic Four.
That was like the wildest 2 days on the internet.
I know.
That was a wild few days.
It was real to me. It was real to me. So, Phase 6 sort of brings in a lovely question from Brit. Why do you think they're doing 2 Avengers films so close together? Obviously, we've got the Kang Dynasty on the 2nd of May, and then we have Secret Wars in November of 2025. What do we think?
Because by then it will have been 6 years since an Avengers film.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? Are you the sort of...
I mean, yeah, I just think I think the most obvious answer is whatever happens at the end of Kang Dynasty leads directly into the events of Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Whether the Avengers win or lose, I would actually think that the Avengers win in Kang Dynasty, but we all know what happens when you kill a Kang.
Yep.
Like a million more pop up left and right. So I think they win in Kang Dynasty. They kill a Kang.
Yeah.
And then whatever events, like whatever happens because they kill Kang, inexplicably causes Secret Wars and will create Battle World or whatever they want to do.
Yeah. It's time to replay Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, I think. Get me in the zone. What a game. I am really excited for 2 Avengers films in 1 year.
That's nuts. It's crazy to think about. 6 months apart, 2 Avengers movies.
And I think as well, we're meant to be getting a Star Wars film in that December. So that winter box office for Disney is going to be insane.
My gosh.
It's going to be mad.
And we're meant to be getting Avatar, whatever. Avatar 3
Avatar
in 2025,
yeah.
right?
That'll be
Avatar 3
the
2025, right?
2024. It's every 2 years for Avatar. It's
okay. I mean,
I think
until he delays it by another year.
I think Disney's plan was they going forward. Obviously, they want Avatar December, and then the next December I have a Star Wars film. But we all know how Star Wars is at the minute, so anything is possible. I will say though, I do like the idea of, obviously, the last time we had a two-part, well, technically a two-part Avengers stories, they lose in the first half, and I sort of wouldn't want to see that again.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it would be
Yeah.
weird feeling of the repeat of the same.
So no, it's a very interesting turn to, they've won, but at what cost?
Now hold on. If we look at the slate, let me look at it real quick.
It just depends on. I'm going to cut in here and while you're looking, and it just depends on what those 8 projects are before Kang Dynasty, because you've got a lot of potential there to do a lot of damage, or for Kang to build up a lot if he's going to have an Avengers film named after him. You've got potentially Doom to build up. If it's Kang and Doom doing Battleworld together.
I mean, we do have confirmation now that Kang is the big bad.
Yeah, and I believe that at the maybe 20, 30 minutes into Kang Dynasty, the Avengers win, but they're setting up. But it's basically them spending the rest of the time trying to fight these variants of Kang while also trying to keep the multiverse together. And it's just going to be like a bonanza of a film where you've got really people being pulled in one direction and then in another universe, and then all of that weird, crazy shit going on. So it's going to be interesting to watch. As far as it's going to be a really interesting one to watch, because I think if done correctly, it will basically ruin, and it needs to set it up, because people just think that Secret Wars is going to be a cameo fest, right? That's what everyone thinks. It's going to be a cameo fest.
I still think it will be, honestly.
And so I'm okay with that if the thing that preceded it has a good enough story. But if they're just doing it to have, if they rest on their laurels a little bit with Kang Dynasty, with the promise that everyone's going to see Robert Downey Jr. return as like a alternate universe Iron Man or whatever.
I think that's a very real possibility.
But I'm hoping that Kang Dynasty is good, because you've got I would just love to see Kang Dynasty being a film all about Kang and every single hero or villain that he's encountered throughout all of time, and it's him revisiting those to basically go off and set up that first multiversal war that we heard about in Loki. So he goes back and he asks, because we know from the Ant-Man trailer that he says, "Have I killed you? You're an Avenger, have I killed you?" So he's met the Avengers before. Kang has met the Avengers. So I think we're going to see a bit more of that in Kang Dynasty. That's what I think.
I looked up the slate because I wanted to see what the timeline was between the movies. There's 2 projects in between the 2. And my thing is, there's 2 projects in summer 2025 before Secret Wars. But if the end of Kang Dynasty is so cataclysmic that it requires a follow-up 6 months later, what could those 2 projects be in between? And will they somehow be linked to the events of the end of Kang Dynasty? I would like to think so. And
it will just be Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right?
That was
on top of it, I don't think Avengers Secret Wars is it and then we're done. I understand that Secret Wars is going to close out with Phase 6, and then that's the end of the multiverse saga. But Secret Wars is such a huge thing in the Marvel Universe that I don't know how they do that in one movie. And I saw a really cool theory, and I kind of like it, that Avengers Kang Dynasty is Secret Wars in a way. Avengers Kang Dynasty, at the end of it, Secret Wars will begin, or what we call Secret Wars will begin, like Battleworld is formed or something, and all the multiverses are on this gigantic planet. And in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, we're going to get projects that all take place on Battleworld happening at, in different places, and kind of forming the coalitions that end up getting formed in the comics. These groups that form together, they form almost nations in a way of just fighting for their life.
So those will be Disney Plus series, right?
That's what I would assume, that they would be Disney Plus series tied to whatever happened at the end of Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars will be the ending of the story, because I don't see a world where Marvel is able to do Secret Wars in one movie and that's it. Even if it's 3 hours long, like Endgame, you still cannot cover the ground that needs to be covered for the entire Secret Wars event, when it comes to, and if we're going on the route that Doom will somehow be involved with it, Reed and Doom's relationship is a very pinnacle part of Secret Wars, if they're going off the Hickman Secret Wars in 2015, which is most obvious that they are. Yeah, I don't know. Those two projects, and for all we know, there's most likely more projects in Phase 6 we have no idea about right now that could fill in gaps, and stuff. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm hoping they don't try and do Secret Wars in just that one movie.
Make it a full event.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like have everything have the same subtitle or something, or I don't know, have it be solo outings. And
I think what it will be that just because I don't have any other title to go with, it will be Secret Wars something. That will be the first event series or the second event series. The one that's just before Secret Wars, but it could be something like Secret Wars Prologue. If they're using subtitles, which we know they are, because they're doing it for Agatha and for Daredevil. And we spoke a little bit about it, Rob, that if they just do that, Secret Wars as a subtitle would be amazing, because you could do Avengers Secret Wars, X-Men Secret Wars, Fantastic Four Secret Wars, and just carry it.
Secret Wars. And just give everybody like projects we already have, franchises that we already have. Just give them a project. It doesn't have to be full length. For all that I care, you could literally film hour specials where it's literally this person, Secret Wars, and just give us them on Battleworld or something like that. Just an update on where everybody's at, how all of these things link together. And then when we get to Secret Wars, it's a 3 hour long, climactic end to everything that we've seen get built up. Okay,
then what if Kang Dynasty ends with Battleworld being formed, right? And then the two titles are Battleworld and Battleworld, and then it goes straight into Avengers Secret Wars.
I would love it if those two projects, if there's nothing else in between there, those two projects are Battleworld projects. There's time jumps. In between projects where one can take place. So you see it get formed. We know where everybody's at. They're on Battleworld now. It ends. First project, say it's a month or so in. A month, 2 months into Battleworld. Here's where everybody's at. Then the other one comes out with this other group. It's a couple more months. And then by the time we get to Secret Wars, it's been such a long span of time that these people have spent on Battleworld, and we get all the exposition we need on what's going on, and then we can do Secret Wars. I think that would be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Synergy.
I love it when we agree. I love it when we agree. I love it when people agree with my ideas.
I love it when a plan comes together. Anybody face?
We've got some questions to go through.
We do.
The question is and it comes from Trevor Hook, which is at Huckleberry with 3 R's, right? 22. Cool, whatever. What information do we have on Secret Wars? Is there any speculation or information on how they plan to make it happen? My answer to that is just rewind like 10 minutes, Trevor, because, if you got to this part, then screw it, you already know where you are.
Yeah.
But as for what happens after Secret Wars, we may have some information. If I say it, Disney might email me and be like, take this podcast down. or email Josh and be like,
Yeah.
get rid of Mo. I'll see a red dot when I wake up in my room, just on my head, just like shining through my blind, being like, oh, and it's the man himself. I think we know fairly easily what the next saga of the MCU is going to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that's going to be, you can just Google it. I'll tell you the link to Google it. But yeah, we've already answered that question, Trevor. Sorry, you should have been here earlier.
Thanks for the question, Trevor.
Yes, thank you, Trevor.
We have one from Hunter Balding from that hashtag show, and he asks, it's a non-Marvel question. What was your favorite non-Marvel property shown at Comic-Con?
Non-Marvel / non-DC.
Non-DC.
Yeah.
As well.
Me and Rob had a nice, lovely little chit chat before we started recording, and I mentioned Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Now I have, outside of Stranger Things, I have absolutely zero knowledge of what this franchise is. I know it's a game. I know there's like wizards and stuff and creatures and everything. And I was really sold by the trailer. I think it's an okay ensemble. I think it's good. And I really liked the trailer. I thought it was really good. So I'm excited for that one next year.
I will confirm the cast listing is not wrong. He is in the trailer. Richard Jean Page is in that movie.
Or is he?
Or is he? Was it a mistake?
No, they just edited him in.
Yeah.
They just had footage of him acting there and acting in the show in full makeup and everything. But for me, mine is coming this September 2nd, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Yes.
Only because I like the Lord of the Rings films. I really did like them. I don't go back and rewatch them, but I'm willing to get stuck into a good big budget fantasy universe again. And it sort of feels like a reboot for fans. Like new fans can get into it, old fans will like it, and it will be. Everyone's been looking for that next Game of Thrones, something that just captivates everyone's collective consciousness. And I believe that this has got the best shot of any show that's come out since then to be able to do that.
Isn't it the most expensive show ever?
Yes, it is, because I mean that's until Daredevil Born Again comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, at 1 billion in promised production value, it's the most expensive show ever produced, because I believe that they set a budget of 200 million per season, and they plan 5 seasons, so they know the ending. It's only going to be 5 seasons. It's going to be, I imagine, it's going to be 1 season every 2 years. Just because of, I don't know, logistics, budget as well, and things like that. Because but they've committed a lot of money to it. I believe they also paid something like 200 million or 250 million for the rights to have it. So they've invested a lot of money in it, and they're going to want to make sure that they sustain that for a really long time. But if they give a time scale of it's going to be in the public's consciousness for the next 10 years, and I'm fine with that. It's going to be something that Amazon promotes the hell out of. We saw a bit at Super Bowl. Like, you don't see trailers for shows coming out 6 months before the show is ready to come out, right? It's to say, like, we're all aware that Amazon is investing a lot of money. This is like production budgets of that 1 billion production budget, that 250 million they spent on the rights. That's outside of marketing, and they are marketing this a lot. Marketing is usually, I think it's usually like 1.5x anyway. So they're spending a lot on doing this. I just hope that they do it well. I hope that it doesn't rely on just visuals, and there's actually a compelling story that makes you want to tune in week to week, and it doesn't overwhelm you with because one of the things that can be quite scary about Lord of the Rings approaching it now is that it overwhelms you with world building. That's one of the scariest things about reading Tolkien, is he'll spend like 6 pages describing a leaf, and I'm like, come on, man, I don't need to know this. I don't need to know just exactly how many veins that leaf had. But you can feel free to. But and I'm hoping that the show captures the essence of that without, as I said, overwhelming you with things. I'm hoping that the languages are well thought out and consistent, because I believe that it has the potential to really be that next big thing that everyone's watching, because it's Lord of the Rings, and I don't think there's going to be anything, if it's done well, I don't think there's going to be anything that tops it. And you know me, I cover series mainly, and I'm on this one, so yeah, I'm very excited about it, only because I've stayed away pretty much from trailers. I've seen the odd shot here and there. It looks fantastic.
It looks great.
Don't have a clue about what the story is.
I just know it takes place like way before in the timeline, before the Fellowship, and this is like the other age of Middle Earth, way before anything happened, how everything happened. But
before they killed all the black people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyway, if it does poorly, which I mean, I feel like it'll be hard for it being such a big property, but if it starts getting a negative connotation put around it, I feel like that's a very bad look, especially for them to start on this first season, because they're going to have a major competitor with House of the Dragon at the exact same time.
No, I don't think that House of the Dragon.
I think it's going to give it a run for its money.
I disagree. I'm excited, and I am covering House of the Dragon, but I don't think that House of the Dragon is going to come close to Lord of the Rings, only because of how badly everyone felt burned by Game of Thrones. The ending, like you don't. Did you either of you like watch it live, and did either of you watch it live? And it was
Yep, I was in my high school lock-in. I was in my high school lock-in for graduation, and I was at lunch table on my phone. I was watching it because it had just released.
I remember watching it because I think I must have been at uni, or like in my final years of uni. I can't even remember when it ended. And I would stay up and watch it because it was simulcast on Sky. So I'd stay up and watch it, and I would just be, and I remember just being like, oh my god, this is really what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is how they're ending it. This is what. And until, and I really, I just don't think that it's going to be as. I don't think that it's going to fascinate as many people. They've got a lot of well-known actors, and part of the charm of Game of Thrones was discovering these new actors at the start of their careers, or these people who've been around for a while but haven't really had a big break. That was part of the charm of Game of Thrones. But you've got buddy Matt Smith there, like
I remember Will Poulter was attached to Rings of Power for a period of time before he dropped out.
Yeah,
it was like one of the first major casting announcements.
I don't know why he dropped out.
I don't know. I don't remember why he dropped out, but I do remember seeing he was like the first big person they announced whenever they were starting to like talk about the show, and then he dropped out.
Okay, so that's my. Anyway, we got way distracted there, but my favorite non-Marvel DC property shown at Comic-Con, Rings of Power. Rob's is.
I did agree with Josh on D&D. Movie-wise, that is it. Overall, though, it's pretty small, but it's my niche. Smiling Friends special coming out on August 7th. Smiling Friends Go to Brazil. It's a little special they're releasing in between season 1 and 2, and that got announced there. And that is probably, other than Marvel and DC, my most excited announcement that they made.
And we are smiling friends at that news.
We are very smiling.
We're not. Do you know what the show's about, Josh?
They're smiling, and they're off to Brazil. No, it's Adult Swim, isn't it?
It's about these. It's about these this company that stops people from
Okay,
Oh,
their job is
okay,
to make people smile. The first
okay,
episode is that, but their job is just to make people smile if they need it.
okay.
I think we've got one more question left actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you hope that the MCU expands on cultural representation going forward after Miss Marvel and the representation the Muslim community received within it?
Do you want to
More.
start? Yeah, more.
Do I want to start?
Yeah.
I wonder
Well,
why.
Shut up. God damn.
no, I think more is always better, and I think
More,
we're
of course.
getting a lot. Obviously, Wakanda Forever, Echo. I think Echo will be really good.
I think Echo's going to be really good for it.
For
We'll probably get.
representation.
I think Echo's probably going to expand more on her Native American background as well.
Well, I think that more is better. I think in recent years the MCU has suffered at times from performative representation. So when it's more thought out, and there's more of it, obviously, more, like it's a better thing. And there's plenty of opportunities, especially with the announced titles in Phase 5 for this better representation, which is really exciting. So yeah.
I believe Echo, great. Echo will be a good one. Captain America: New World Order it feels like Captain America: New World Order is going to be a lot about if they tap into if they really tap into the political thriller aspect, the conspiracy theories aspect of it. This New World Order is linked to conspiracy theories now. I hope that they carry on the themes that were set up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, as far as what it means to be Black in America. Because I still think that's a debate that people are going to be having in 2 years' time, because it's still going to be an issue in 2 years' time. Things like this don't get fixed with a 6-episode Disney Plus show, and it's not going to be an easy watch for a lot of people. Because, and I think the reason that a lot of people like Black Panther is it's amazing for African representation, and even with Killmonger, African American representation, as far as wanting reparations, and he really sort of cuts to the bone there right from the off with what his first scene in the museum in Black Panther. And I think a lot of people like Black Panther because they felt it was more palatable because it's about a fictional country. But when you've got a black man wearing the shield of Captain America and representing America in the universe, it becomes a lot less palatable for people. But I think it's something that people need to watch. It's going to be
100%.
It's going to be a film that people in America need to watch. I mean, people all over the world, but particularly people in America need to watch in order to really realize that, look, these issues are going on in America as well. Because Black Panther takes place in Wakanda, it's a fictional nation, and it's got this, it's Afrofuturism, so it's basically a utopia for all intents and purposes. But apart from constant invasion from aliens, but America has had its fair share of aliens as well, so
Yeah.
who knows? Anyway, yeah, with Captain America, you're getting a different type of representation. It's not what it's like to be an African in a fictional country. It's what it's like to be an African American in America right now. That's what you get with Captain America, New World Order, and I think that it's going to be, as far as it being culturally representative, it's going to be culturally representative. It's got Malcolm Spellman writing it. It's got I forget the director's name. Does someone got it?
Oh my gosh, it was in the trade report.
Julius Ona.
Yeah, Julius Ona. Yeah. He's directing it, and you're going to have that culture there. And it's not going to be as nice to watch, as Black Panther is, because you can't lose yourself in something that reflects the real world so closely. But I also think that it's coming at a very, very necessary time for the MCU to really tackle issues that were, I don't want to talk down on it, but relegated to Disney Plus, but talk about them on a big screen, on the big screen. And that's where I think you can get a lot of deep representation that might not be entirely obvious to a lot of people when they watch it the first time. Just like how Falcon and Winter Soldier wasn't obvious to a lot of people when they watched it, and people still rate it as like one of the lowest Disney Plus series. But I rank it as one of my highest because it was less about stupid flag smashes and more about Sam. Anyway, that's me done on my rant about that.
Yeah, the only kind of thing I want to throw in is that we need more. Definitely, we need more representation. We need more diversity, and we will always get that. But I think when we get the mutants is when it's really, really going to ramp up with the uniqueness and of the different cultures. I think we need more diversity and representation matters. And I'm glad that Marvel Studios is not scared to take these issues to the big screen.
Definitely.
I think they are a little bit.
Well, with Cap
They are.
Cap 4 coming up, I think if they tackle the issues that you just spoke of, not that it shows that they're too scared, but I just want them to just take that stand that there will always be the criticism from the ignorant and bigots, and for Marvel Studios to continue on with these things. Pause the fucking recording, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go anywhere with that. I froze.
You froze a bit, but anyway. No, well, my thing. I'm not trying to completely bash Marvel, but I also am not going to just sit there and say, "Oh, they're excellent and they're not afraid to do things," because they very clearly are afraid to break the mold a little bit and break free from the PG-13 family-friendly nuclear parent image. A 12-second scene that they kept in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness isn't great representation as far as that. A pride pin on America Chavez's jacket, not great representation as far as LGBT representation. And you get an actual LGBT mixed race couple in Eternals, and it's the worst rated Marvel film of all time. So it's one of those things where it feels like they don't want to take huge swings as far as representation goes, because it's all well and good having a black man lead a franchise, but it's what they do with that character. Are they going to make him a black man who's Captain America, or are they going to make him Captain America who happens to be black? And I think it's a very nuanced debate around that. Well, it should be nuanced, but it's just very reactionary, because it's well and good having. If all you're doing is saying that it's Sam Captain or Sam Cap or whatever it is, then you're not understanding what it is. Is he going to be this? Like, is he going to be a character that black people can relate to, or is he just going to be? Is he going to be like a liberal version? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is he going to be like the black friend that every non-racist white person has? That hypothetical, or is he going to be an actual black man who is Captain America.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has to fit into a stereotype to fulfill that. I just want to see his personality and his experiences growing up black, being a black man in America. I want to see that shine through. And if I see that, then I'll know that Marvel is taking this seriously. But until I see that, I don't feel that they are taking representation seriously, because I feel like the goodwill of the black community feeling represented has sort of gone away at this point as far as Black Panther goes, and then Wakanda Forever is going to reignite it, and then in 2 years' time, or 3 years' time, is it 2 years' time? 3 years' time.
Be 2, I believe. It's 2024 or is it 20?
Oh, it's 24. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 years' time, I don't know if that's still going to be there, depending on how well they use their other black characters, like Rhodey.
Hopefully September we get him.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And Riri Williams. Are they going to be as intersectional as you would hope that they'd be with the people that, because they're doing, it seems from the outside perspective, from a kind of outside inside perspective, they're hiring the right people to write the stories, to direct the stories. But when it comes to the execution, I don't know what happens. I just don't know, and it stresses me out. Well, not stresses me out. I don't lose sleep over it, but I get frustrated when, yeah, it just generally does frustrate me a little bit when I see a storyline that could have gone one way and could have tackled real issues, and it doesn't. Because you can still have your superhero explosion fun, and I still enjoy that, and I enjoy these characters interacting with other characters, and I don't think everything needs to have be in black and white and filmed in a 4:3 aspect ratio of. But
Thank you.
I do think that Marvel's got the audience now to be able to tell these stories and make a real difference. Because if you think about the impact that storylines like the X-Men had on people, as far as welcoming, it was made in the civil rights movement, during the civil rights movement, or as a result of it.
Mhm.
And you look at the impact those storylines had on people then, you can really do these films are the new comics for a lot of people. A lot of kids now and a lot of teenagers now and young adults now will never pick up a comic book in their life because they've got this there. They've got a back catalogue of 25 or 26 films and TV series, films, and then 10 TV series to be able to watch, and they've got new things coming every week until November 5th, 2025, that they know. So you have the chance to really impact and be impressionable on people. But if you're not effectively representing things or portraying issues in a realistic but like obviously over heightened way, then I don't think you're doing your job as I don't think you're doing the genre of comics justice. That's just my thoughts on it, but that was very deep. I'm sorry.
Really deep.
Oh, who knew that I could be so deep?
Is there anything you both want to finally add about SDCC, or are you all like, have you got it all out? Obviously, Rob, you're still recovering from the Daredevil news.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything. I
have a question. Sorry to cut you off.
That's right.
Out of every single thing that was announced and every single thing that we know is coming, that wasn't announced, but we know for a fact is coming, what are the 3 projects you are most excited for? Not theoretical projects. We're only talking about ones that have either been confirmed by Marvel, confirmed by a trade, or confirmed by a trademark.
don't know. I obviously mentioned Blade before when we talked about the Phase 5 titles and what we were looking forward
Yeah.
to, but
But are you more excited about Fantastic Four than are you more excited about Blade than Fantastic Four?
well, no. Fantastic Four's
Okay.
like such a big thing. I'm more excited about the potential more than anything. Obviously, moving past these announced titles, there's just so much more that this all could be leading to. Obviously, we know we've got those two big Avengers films, but like we've said, there's that potential for stuff in between. But yeah, I'm more excited for obviously Fantastic Four than Blade, but I don't know. In terms of the trademarks, though, I don't know. Maybe I'm such a shill that I'm excited for everything. The best way to put it is there's nothing on that list that I'm not excited for.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but we're at this stage now where we've got so many different corners of the MCU that because we've had a taste of everything, there's nothing that I don't particularly want. So yeah, just all of it. I'm excited for all of it. But if I had to pick three, Fantastic Four, the Academy, whatever the actual title was, and I won't say the Avengers films. I'll say Daredevil.
Blade.
I'll just say Blade or Daredevil. They're close enough. What about you, Rob?
Said stuff from trades as well that hasn't been announced.
Trades and trademarks.
All right, so Daredevil, Fantastic Four, The Mutants.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You agree, right?
Yeah.
That last one, so true.
That last one. Okay, so obviously Agatha. I don't know why I'm so excited for Agatha. I just am. I think that it's going to be a really trippy. It's going to be a spiritual successor to WandaVision. I don't imagine that we're going to see Wanda in it. I hope we don't, because I believe that these two characters need to spend some time apart. Agatha needs to figure her shit out. And figure out who she is without the Darkhold, because Wanda's just gone and destroyed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's destroyed it in every single universe as well. So it's not she needs to figure out who she is as a witch. She's been on the Darkhold for 400 odd years, so she's got to figure some things out. And I'm so there for it. Like, she's going to be building her coven. It's going to have allegedly some people in it, that some actresses, two actresses that I really like. Or actors, yeah, two actors that I really, really like. And I'm not saying who they are because but I'll tell you after. But I'm excited for Agatha. It's not the one I'm most excited for. Most excited, or second most excited, Fantastic Four. Most excited is, drumroll please, Shang-Chi, Wreckage of Time.
Okay.
Woo, woo.
Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time. Yeah. Time is going to be wrecked. It's going to be wrecked, and Shang-Chi is at the center of it. And even though I'm not the biggest Aquafina fan, I really did not mind her in Shang-Chi because I thought she was very palatable.
Yeah,
I liked Katie.
Yeah, she was very palatable. And I just want to see more of, because I really love this idea of Talo being this hub for all of the kind of East Asian Chinese mythology. Like all these different creatures that come up in throughout various texts throughout all of history. I just love that, and I want to see. It's not going to be explored that much more, but I'd love to see. I'd love to return to Talo. I'd like to see more of Michelle Yeoh. I don't know what role she could play in this, but there was a whole other, like, you saw the thing. There was a whole other city that was way more advanced than anything people have on Earth. So I want to see more of Talo in that shape. I want to see the cities. I love I love cities. No, but I think Shang-Chi is, as far as the Avengers go and setting up a team, he's one of the people to be setting up a team, be a member of the new Avengers. And he's connected the 10 rings, these artifacts that he's carrying around with him are connecting in really strange ways, either to Miss Marvel, and potentially to the Kree, which would connect to the Marvels, which might connect to Secret Invasion. So it's these things are coming up in really weird ways, and then obviously you have the Hulk theory as well. So I just want to see where he places in the MCU. When's that going to get started? What are we going to see there? How, like, when's the next Shang-Chi film coming out? And it's such a like, I rewatch Shang-Chi a lot. I've seen it probably double digits now at this point. It was just such a good film, and as far as, like, I don't care about seeing a Wenwu prequel story. I don't care about that. We saw the prequel story in the first 10 minutes of Shang-Chi, so we don't need it. But I just I want to see that exploration of him, his character, a bit more, because I feel like you got his personality as Sean, but not as Shang-Chi. And I want to see him grow into more of a hero there, because he embraced it nicely. I thought he didn't really resist it that much. But yeah, anyway, I'd like to see more of him, even though Simu Liu and I have Twitter beef. Had Twitter beef back in 2020. But yeah, it's fine. I still love you, Simu. Oh no, I don't actually. Maybe I do. You can cut that out. It's fine. But yeah.
All right then. That was a really good episode. As always,
a very long episode.
It was very long. As always, don't forget to follow Streamer on all our social platforms. We are regularly posting on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. If you just search Streamer News on all those platforms. We are also on the website, thestreamer.com. There's no E, as always. You can obviously find Rob on his social medias. They will be in the description, as always. And once again, Mo, thanks for joining us today, Mo. It was very fun having you here. For your insights.
Thank you for letting me onto the podcast. That's under a site that I own.
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you
always.
for allowing me.
You were allowed.
I'm glad I could come and roll. Oh god,
Yeah.
I'm joking. They're gonna think I'm horrible. I am horrible, but I'm not that horrible.
Help us.
I mean, you are literally. It does look like you're in jail.
I am.
Like,
I should have had my stripy top on.
Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Anyways,
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
it's great. It was great having you on, as always. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled for the next episode of What's Streaming. Please do tell your friends, share this around. We want to build a nice little audience, and we will see you for the next one. Bye.
What's on the next one?
I don't know. Lewis is meant to be coming on to talk about Drag Race. So, also,